So learning objectives of this presentation is to understand the surgical options for primary congenital glaucoma, the surgical technique, and the long-term results of the surgical technique. Advances in diagnosis, investigation, anesthetic technique, medical and surgical treatment has really improved the prognosis of patients with primary congenital glaucoma. Now, congenital glaucoma is a surgical disease. Medical therapy is accorded a supportive role to reduce the intraocular pressure temporarily, to clear cornea, and to facilitate surgical intervention. The options as a primary procedure available to us are listed in this slide. The first surgical technique described was goniotomy in 1940s by Barkan, but it requires clear cornea, and that's the reason alternative technique of trabeculotomy ab externo is important. Primary trabeculectomy is not the primary surgery, but combined trabeculectomy in our Indian setup is the most important surgical technique. I'll come to it in detail. Just to talk about goniotomy, with a needle-like knife under microscopic control with the help of a surgical gonioprism, the needle is introduced through limbus and the incision is given at the angle so that the root of the iris falls back, as you see here, and the Slem's canal is open to the anterior chamber. But it requires clear cornea, and that's the reason trabeculotomy ab externo is important. Simultaneously and independently described by Burian and Smith from two different parts of the world is an alternative technique. Trabeculotomy ab externo is anatomically more precise, technically easier, and is this microsurgery which is easy to learn comparatively, easy to learn and easy to teach. We'll explain the surgical technique of combined primary trabeculectomy and trabeculotomy. It is important in Indian context and severe form of the disease because the two components of the surgery, trabeculotomy and trabeculectomy, helps in reduction of the intraocular pressure. Let me explain the surgical technique in detail. The conjunctival flap, conjunctival tenon layer, limbus-based flap is raised, and the superficial episcleral blood vessels are cauterized. And then the most important step is to understand, is to really delineate the surgical limbus under the partial thickness scleral flap. If you go from limbal side, corneal side to the posterior, the anterior-most part will be peripheral cornea, and after that is the transitional zone, which is nothing but external landmark for the trabecular meshwork, and where it meets white sclera is the identification-wise most important landmark and most important surgical area to explore the Slem's canal and the scleral spot. Now, where it is classically said, where white meets the blue, Slem's wait for you. That's the dictum. Once the Slem's canal is opened, outer wall is incised, this instrument called metal trabeculotome is introduced. Lower prong and the upper one acts as a guide. Approximately 80 to 90% of the probes should be introduced into the canal, and then the probe should be rotated to really disrupt that part or that segment of the trabecular meshwork, creating a continuity between the anterior chamber and that segment of the Slem's canal. Once this trabeculotomy is done on one side, similar procedure is done on the other side of the radial incision. And when we complete both the sides, approximately 110 to 120 degree of the trabecular meshwork is taken care of. Next step is to do the removal of the deeper block, as you see here, and it is done in the usual way as we do trabeculectomy in adult. Approximately 3 by 2 millimeter or 3 by 1 millimeter of the tissue is removed. Peripheral iridectomy is done. The idea is to do iridectomy in a way that the base of the iridectomy should be equal or even larger than the internal ostium created, so that if shallow chamber happens in the early postoperative period, the iris pillar should not block the internal ostium. Once the trabeculotomy and trabeculectomy is done, it is necessary, next step is to close the partial thickness scleral flap, one at the apex, one on each side of the triangle. We used to put tenonylon suture. In my initial 10 years, this is the way I learned and this is the way we practiced. After 10 years, because I do not believe in using antifibrotic therapy in children, in the very first surgical technique, I avoided the side sutures and single suture is used at the apex to close the superficial scleral flap. The conjunctival flap, conjunctival tenon layer is closed in a continuous fashion with a round-bodied atraumatic needle using 8O polygalactine or vicryl suture. We'll come to video. The postoperative care is taken care of, antibiotic for 1 week, topical steroid tapering dosage for 6 weeks, and topical cycloplegic for 3 to 4 weeks. You can see the postoperative appearance of the bleb in a case of congenital glaucoma operated by combined trabeculotomy, trabeculectomy, and you can see the corneal clarity achieved. You can see the HABS tie crossing below the pupillary axis, and you can see the peripheral iridectomy. Let me present the video. A central radial incision is gradually deepened. Devasis, is the video seen?
Sir, the video is same. Yes.
Devasis is not there.
Sir,
Devasis, can you see the video?
Yes, sir. Video is running, sir. Video is running.
Oh, all right. Is
Yeah.
the voice there?
Voice is not there. You have to give the commentary.
Let me say. So once the Schlemm's canal is opened, the trabeculotomy probe is introduced and is rotated. Little resistance is felt so that during the disruption of the clavicular meshwork, it will create little resistance. Too much of resistance indicates that you are creating false passage, and no resistance or very little resistance indicate that you have gone into the posterior chamber and actually perforated the iris. That is not required. So it's a experience which cannot be taught by language. It has to be felt. It has to be done. That's the way. Let me present the video of the same child, how the corneal edema behaved with time. Compare and contrast the appearance of the cornea at presentation and at 2 weeks, 2 months, and 6 months after the surgical technique. You can see, note the clinical appearance of the HABS type in this child. Now you can see how beautifully the corneal edema cleared. I am presenting a similar case where a 3-month-old infant was brought to us in an emergency by the parents. The child is from Pune. Sudden corneal clouding. The parents felt that the child is having beautiful eye, but actually it is a manifestation of acute hydrops related to infantile onset glaucoma. Now I'll present the visual behavior of this child whose surgical technique has been presented. You can see the visual development, fixation developed, and the child is refusing to go back to mother. And from father's lab comes to me and refuses to go back to father. You can see this is the appearance of the activity of the eye after the age of 6 months. So after about 3 months of surgery, this video was clicked. By this activity, you can assess the child is doing very well, his visual development is normal. Here is the child photographed at the age of 8 years when the patient came. The child is doing very well. The child is interested. I actually inspired the child to become a doctor. He is inspired. He comes, he's the topper in his class. Now, to talk about the literature, Professor Sood, my mentor, initially published his results in the year 1983, where he concluded that this surgical technique is the safest and the most effective in children with primary congenital glaucoma in India. 1994, British Journal of Ophthalmology published an editorial by O'Connor, which comments that this surgical technique may represent the next step in the search for the best surgical treatment for congenital glaucoma. We published our 15 years result, 360 children, 624 eyes, done over a period of 15 years, and we concluded that prolonged IOP control can be achieved in patients with primary developmental glaucoma, and 42% of the patients gained normal visual acuity. The updated version of our series is presented here. 1128 eyes of 653 consecutive children of congenital, infantile, and juvenile onset glaucoma operated by me over a period of 21 years, 1990 to 2010. And you can see the success rate is decreasing over a period of time, and the success rate of over 90% at the end of 2 years is reducing to 70% at the end of 10th year. Mind it, it is surgical success without any anti-glaucoma medication. Best spectacle corrected visual acuity was 27.6% normal visual acuity, and rest were having mild to moderate degree of visual impairment. Patients where primary surgery was done by us did better compared to the group where we did the second surgery, primary surgery was done elsewhere. Corneal clarity, where it is normal, did better compared to the patients where corneal edema and corneal scar was the presenting feature. Children who had congenital onset glaucoma and operated within 1 week to 1 month of birth did relatively poorer compared to the patients of infantile onset glaucoma. Here is the child operated for acute eye drops. I presented the video. Here is 6 months postoperative appearance of the child. Total clearance of corneal edema has been achieved actually at the end of 2 weeks. Now, let me present some illustrative case. Simultaneous bilateral surgery was done on this child at the age of 3 weeks. 6 months postoperative appearance showed clear cornea in both eyes. Here is 3 years postoperative appearance. With the spectacle correction for myopia, the child is enjoying age appropriate normal vision. This is the child where operation was done on the 3rd day of birth, and this is the child where surgery was done at the youngest age of 3 days after birth. Again, simultaneous bilateral surgery was done, and you can see 6 months postoperative appearance showing total clearance of corneal edema. This child was operated at the age of 2 weeks, and you can see 6 months postoperative appearance, and you can see here the child at the age of 12 years completed 27 years of follow-up. This photograph was taken when the child completed 25 years of follow-up. The child is doing journalism and is doing job in Calcutta. Just to give yet another example where surgery was performed, simultaneous bilateral surgery was performed on this child at the age of 2 weeks. Here is 25 years postoperative appearance. The child completed chartered accountancy and practicing independently in Kolkata. Just to summarize, so here in this presentation, we have given a glimpse of the surgical options available and the most important surgical technique suitable for Indian patient population where there is significant megalocornea and corneal edema. And we will come to the next part of my presentation later on, surgical technique, recent advances on the surgical aspects of primary congenital glaucoma.